Welcome everyone to another video, and today, as you can see, it's a very, very special video for us because we're joined by the Bisons, the Arabian Bisons. Ahmad, Ali, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
All right.
So before we start talking,
I hope you guys feel special because it's the first time we've ever had any guests on our Zoom meeting.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Special,
Making a mark. Different kind of mark.
Well, I can tell you, like, if the Bisons are here, I assure you it's gonna be like a fun video, man.
I'm guessing we need to keep it PG as well. That would be great.
Oh, yes,
it would make Anas's life and censoring stuff a lot easier. Yeah. Okay. We got it. It's a good thing we got that out of the way in the beginning.
Yeah, good thing you said that in the beginning, or I would have done some mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So, guys, before we start talking cars and what you do, I wanna just know, like, introduce yourselves and what's with the name. Where did you get the name from? Like the Arabian Bisons.
Okay. Ahmad, you want to tell the story?
All right. So basically, we were taking part in the Chopard Classic Car Rally, and we thought we needed team names. Turns out we didn't. But so Ali and I were one day we were at a garage, and then on the way home, we were literally stopped at a red light, and I was telling Ali, I was like, Ali, we need to come up with a team name. He's like, what could we do? I was like, we need to be something Arabian, okay? And then he's like, Arabian Gazelles. I was like, dude, we're not gazelles, okay, number one. Number two, no, because you know why. And then he's like, and then I was like, okay, we need something our size. Bisons are huge. And he's like, yeah, there we go, Arabian Bisons. And like, we know that the plural of bison is bison, but we added the S at the end to that little extra Arab taste in the ground.
Yeah, just to piss people off.
Nice story. So, but you didn't need the name for the team, right?
Apparently, no, we
didn't. But we just,
but it just stuck.
Exactly, and even for the race, for the Chopard Classic Car Rally, we had our own custom-made, like, colored shirts and everything with our logo and like a BMW logo on the side and everything. Turns out we didn't need that either because they had ones. So they had everyone in the same shirt, everyone in the rally, and the shirts were white.
So basically, just imagine this. Okay, just imagine this: a BMW 2002, tiny orange car. Ahmed and I are in it, going to the Chopard rally. Okay, in black shirts, different, complete uniforms. Okay, with hats. And then we just go to them, it's like, hi, we're here for the rally. And they're like, okay, you don't need to wear that. You have to wear this. Just imagine that picture.
The planning, all of it went to...
all for nothing. But we did it. Even the shirts they gave us don't fit.
Exactly. Tiny.
So it's a win-win for us.
You know what we looked like? You know when you have a can of cookie dough that sits out in the sun for too long? Yeah. And then it just pops and then it's like leaking. That's exactly what we looked like. So it wasn't gonna happen.
I remember that BMW. It's one hell of a car, man.
Yeah.
Amazing car.
Yeah.
You still have it?
No, I sold it.
Oh.
Sold.
Biggest mistake of my life. See, my favorite car I sold. Ahmed's favorite car he sold. I don't know, that we're just spiraling into something. I don't
we'll do something. We have plans. We're gonna get something big done.
Yes, inshallah.
Once we get out of the house.
So speaking of favorite cars and big cars, then and I have you both here. We have to speak pickups, man.
Yeah, because both of you own some pretty cool pickup trucks. So let's start with that.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's start with what you guys own, and then let's ask you the question of like your favorite pickup that you drove, tested through the past year. So let's start with you, Ahmad. Like, you own an amazing pickup. I'll let you explain.
All right. So I own a 2017 F-150. That's been Ali, احترم نفسك.
Ignore the
So
Chevy
I-
background. Ignore the Chevy
Here we
background.
go. The bison started knocking heads.
Yeah, okay, so the 2017 F-150, I have the King suspension, the Baja kit control arms, the method wheels, and the Cooper tires, the body kit, everything that you can put on the car to and still have it drivable on the road at the same time. I have done, and I really, really like the car. Ali also likes my car, whether he likes it or not.
Okay, I do.
Believe it or not, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I drive Ali's car, his dually, more than I drive my F-150, and he drives my F-150 more than he drives his dually. Okay, so now when you ask me what cars do you own, I will tell you, and what trucks, I will tell you Ford F-150 and a GMC Denali Dually 3500. And then when you ask Ali what trucks does he own, he will tell you Dually 3500 and Ford F-150.
Okay.
And we recently sold.
But I gotta say, man, I love your, by the way.
Sorry?
Hello.
Hello, Anas?
Ahmed is, so that Ahmed's screen is stuck. It's your chance, Ali.
Oh, okay, so what I own is a 2016. Can you guys hear me?
Zara,
Let's check. Can you guys
are
hear me?
you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all here. Let's go.
We're having difficulties. Okay, so I own a GMC Sierra Denali Dually, and to people who don't know what a dually is, it's the truck that has two unnecessary tires more than the actual four, which is it's a six-wheeler. Okay,
It's an extra thick boy.
extra thick boy. It is quite fat in the back. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So yeah. So it has Fox 2.0s that I got since I bought the car, and pre-surged suspension, and it used to have a supercharger. You remember that, Ahmed?
Yes, I do remember that.
What happened
Yes.
to it? What
So
happened
Ali
to
had
it?
this bright idea of slapping a supercharger on his car.
Look. Because, okay, let me tell you the story of why I wanted to supercharge it. Keep in mind, I own a GMC Sierra V8 with a 6-liter and a 6-speed 6L80 or 6L90. I'm not sure which transmission. And I'm so happy with it feels throaty and manly. I was like, oh, I love this. And then I get this Picanto. Okay, Picanto, who's annoying me on the road. He comes next to me, he floors it, I floor it, and he goes away. That was the day I wanted to either kill myself, sell the truck, or supercharge it. So I was like, you know what? Let's supercharge it. Now,
Racing Picanto, basically. That was the benchmark. I need to be faster than a Picanto.
no, that didn't help. No, I was faster. I'm faster than a Picanto. But the thing is, my let's say my range on a full tank before I put the supercharger on was 550 kilometers on a full tank of 280, 300, okay, 300 dirhams.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I supercharged it, it's 280 dirhams full tank, 280 kilometers in range. So it's 1 dirham per kilometer.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was a money pit.
It was and I think that year that it had the supercharger, it was mostly with Ahmed. I barely drove it. Yeah.
Good. I like that. So basically, while it's expensive to run, let Ahmed deal with it. It's like, Ahmed, your
exactly. I'm not dealing with that. It's just parking.
So
And then the thing is, we told Ali we told Ali multiple times. We're like, dude, you don't need the supercharger. But he was really convinced with it. So we had to wait till he went to military to actually sell the supercharger off his truck. And then he came back and he's like, where's my supercharger? I was like, here you go. And we just gave him some money.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to the... Pardon, what were you saying, Ali?
I'm happy I got rid of it, but I miss it. I don't miss it. Like that. The thing is, it was a supercharger with no exhaust. So it's basically just supercharger. I could not hear my engine.
It's just noise.
Right.
Yeah. So imagine. Okay, I have to keep this PG. Imagine. Okay, listen. I'm gonna keep it PG-16. Imagine a child falling or a child screaming. Okay, you know how it passes. Ah, that sound. Yeah, that's what it's passing.
That's exactly what's true. That is 100% accurate.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to the topic. The topic is, what would you say was one of your favorite pickup trucks that you've driven in the past year? Y'all don't have to agree on the same truck. It's just your personal opinion. So go ahead.
I think we will both agree
Yes.
on the same truck. This one right
It's
here.
the one in your background.
The Silverado
Silverado.
2500.
Yes.
So I personally love the truck because comfort, capability, price, everything was all on lock, except the face. It's only a face a mother could love.
Consider me a mother.
But it grows on you. So it's like with a bit of time, you're like, I can accept this. It's like having it's like having one of those dogs with his tongue hanging out of his mouth. You know what I mean? At first you see it, you're like, what's that? But then with years, with the love and affection that it shows, you're like, okay, I love this thing now. This thing.
You know, it might have some really cool features on it and things like that, but since you guys love the truck so much, I'm going to ask you this. Don't you think they've heavily reworked the exterior, but the interior is a bit of a letdown considering they pretty much didn't do anything to it?
Ahmed, let me take this. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm a heavy GM fanatic. I've always loved GM, but the new generation of General Motors. Okay, the exterior is absolutely stunning. Okay, of the GMC. Of the GMC, okay, and see Ahmed smile, okay, but the interior, okay, I see what they're trying to do. They improved it, and they wanted to improve it. They raised the seat, and they changed it, but they didn't really they didn't really improve it much. And I feel like the previous generation is better. They tried to improve it. They just changed it. They didn't really improve anything, and all they did was just move stuff and reshape it, and here you go. You know what I mean?
Have any of you guys been in the new Rams?
Yes.
Yes.
Interior wise,
all of them.
Any day.
I think for us, it's definitely one of the best pickup trucks we've driven. The Ram, the new Ram.
So
Yeah.
the Rams is the bar.
Yes.
Just the interior. Let's speak about the
interior.
interior alone, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah. Interior, nothing comes even close to what the Ram can offer. I mean, it doesn't matter which trim you get it. If you get it in the regular, what is it called, limited trim, or if it's the Rebel, or even if it's the Power Wagon 2500, the heavy duty Ram. That was awesome to drive. But the thing is, the thing I don't like about Rams, and this is an issue that Ali and I struggle with a lot of cars, is the seating position. We feel like seats in cars these days don't go down as low as they should.
Yeah.
Either that or we got fat. So
But
one of those.
I think it's a combination of both. Okay? But like, for example, the Ram, when I was driving the 25, it's a heavy duty pickup truck. Okay, everything is awesome with it. But then while I'm sitting, like, the roof is literally on my head, like the ceiling. And it's it doesn't make sense. Just lower the seat a bit more. And my deal breaker with Rams in general is that stupid knob
The shifter.
It's
and
horrible.
And the plus and minuses are actually buttons on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I hated that so much.
I don't know why I like these knobs and buttons.
Yeah.
It's like, don't reinvent the wheel, man. You're driving a heavy-duty Ram. Like, for example, the four-wheel drive system is mechanical. It's not electric or anything. It's connected directly, you know? And it's in the ground.
Yeah.
Floor mounted. It's perfect. Okay? But then you have this stupid volume thing.
It's like they're trying to say, we can offer you 2030, okay, but we can offer you 1960 as well. So like there's two in one.
Feeling a little nostalgic, put it in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Okay, so I guess
As you can tell, we have strong opinions about pickup trucks.
yeah,
that's fine. That's good. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, and that's why I started with pickups actually with you guys, because I know.
we're
But
very
Ahmed, before we move on to the next topic, I
Mhm.
just want to ask you, like, comparing your car to a Ford Raptor, what do you think? Like, is it better to just buy an F-150 and do what you did, or just go and buy a Raptor from the agency? What do you think?
Look, there's two sides to this coin, okay? So the first thing, if you're looking for off-road ability with reliability and ease of use, I would say go for the Raptor straight away. Spend the extra money and get a Raptor, because no one will ever get it as good as the agency does or as good as the factory does when it comes to off-road trucks. So that's why I think the Raptor is a better option. But if you want a V8 like I did, then go for the F-150, because nothing beats the sound of a V8 in my opinion.
You're not
And,
after that loud exhaust you put on yours.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if you put an exhaust on a Raptor, it's just gonna sound like a bunch of beans in a can, you know? It just doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
thing is with Ford and the exhaust. Sorry to cut you off, Anas.
it's okay. No, go ahead.
Thing is with Ford and their exhaust. Okay, I mean, I've heard so many 6-cylinder engines that sound good. Why does the Raptor sound like that? Okay, first of all, and second of all, why do I hear V8 noises in the car, but thunder noises outside? Like this doesn't make. I was confused. I was just sitting in the car. I was like, I'm confused. What's happening?
It is confusing. It is confusing.
Yeah, it's just an experience for you only.
Exactly. Like I hear the V8 inside, but I go outside and it's, I don't know.
But when it comes to modifying pickup trucks, you need to be 100%. You need to do your research 100%. I did my research, but I feel like I didn't do enough research. My suspension, for example, my King suspension, it's pretty good, but it is super stiff. Okay, so on the road, if you hit a pebble on the road, you will feel it in the back of your neck, kind of stiff. You know what I mean? And but off road, if you go on whoops, for example, it's awesome. You need to also look into the proper tire size, and there's a lot of research that needs to go into it. You need to be patient, and there's a bit of trial and error involved in it, so you can get your truck to be as perfect as the Raptor is.
Yeah, thing is with Ahmed's Ford, okay, I love the suspension to an extent. The problem is with Ahmed's suspension, because the Ford F-150 single cab is so light, okay, it's so light. It can take the tire size. Like you have which tires do you have? The what?
35s.
No, which tires? The mud tires.
STT Pro.
The STT Pros, they're massive. Okay, and when I drive them, I don't feel the weight. When I drive his truck, I don't feel the weight of the tires. But at the same time, because the car is so light, even in the desert, if you go on whoops, either you drive 200 or you don't drive at all. Okay, you have to be flying for the suspension to be effective.
Yeah,
because of how light the truck is.
The truck is. Yeah.
Yes. So as Ahmed said, I mean, always do your research before taking the steps to modifying.
Heavily do your research.
Yes.
Definitely, and again, you might lose the warranty. Like if you buy a new car, a new truck from Ford, you're gonna lose the warranty definitely.
I still have my warranty.
Gray area.
You know?
Yeah.
I still have my warranty and service and everything.
Depends on the advisor. Depends on the advisor.
If you're Ahmed, you will keep your warranty. Otherwise, be careful with that.
Yeah.
Look, I think the main thing is not to play around with the engine itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you put a cold air intake, then fine. If you do a tune, fine. Just make sure it's on a piggyback on its own that you can turn off when you take to the agency. You know, there's a few tips and tricks around getting around this warranty problem. But obviously,
Don't
if you
add a
change the
supercharger.
Okay.
No, the warranty went out the window with the superchargers built in.
No, I had warranty. Okay. And then I decided to put the supercharger, completely forgetting that I have warranty. But then I was like, oh, I need to service it. Okay, it's supercharged. God damn it, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot. But anyways, like I thought about it. I thought it through. Because my truck has the old iron block engine, the 6-liter, and not the new 6.6 or the 2016, 17, 6.2 or 5.3 with the aluminum block. These engines are so cheap to find. The engine is around, you can find it around 4,000 dirhams. Like either.
So the hell with it.
Yeah, exactly. And why do I have to pay for major service 2,800 dirhams while I can just add a little bit more and get another engine?
New one. Just major service, replace the engine.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's, speaking of like big V8s and superchargers, let's move on to next topic.
Yes.
Which is muscle cars. Which let's speak about like the three top that come to your mind: the Mustang, the Camaro, and the Challenger. And okay, I see some. First of all, I want to know what do you pick out of the three? What do you pick out of the three, and why?
Out of the Mustang, Challenger, and Camaro, I picked the Cadillac CTSV.
You know what, Ali? I was thinking the exact same thing, but then he gave us these three options. I was like, damn it, let's stick to the script for a little bit.
Yeah, well,
But can you call the Cadillac a muscle car to begin with?
Well, it has a 6.2 with a supercharger, and it is a maniac when you drive it. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's luxurious. It's basically a luxury car or a muscle car, but how do I say that? Luxurified, or I don't know how.
It's a muscle car in a tuxedo. Let's just say that.
Exactly. It's basically a Camaro with 2 more doors and a tuxedo. يعني أزيد
2 more doors and a bow tie.
Yeah.
But yeah, out of the three, I would go for the Mustang. That 10-speed with the Coyote is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I agree. But
so both of you Mustang.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's more comfortable than the other ones.
Look,
the Challenger, even in the Hellcat form, is just way too much.
It's not comfortable.
It's fun, but then okay, you're 100,000 dirhams in tires later, you're like, this is not fun anymore. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mustang, I'm all in with the Mustang in terms of muscle car.
Okay, for me, the answer depends on which Mustang. The answer depends on which Camaro, and Charger is irrelevant. A Challenger is irrelevant. Okay, which Mustang and which Camaro? This is the real question for me. If it was just a Coyote or a 5.0 versus a ZL1, I'd rather go for the ZL1. But if it's, I don't know.
The 5.0 like versus like the SS from the Camaro.
Exactly.
Mustang.
Yeah.
Even though it isn't as fast as the Camaro.
Even
you'd still pick the Mustang, even though it isn't as fast as the Camaro.
Thing is, I don't know. I just find the Mustang looks better. It looks better. It's more comfortable, and I don't feel like the dashboard is about to swallow me alive. And yeah.
And you don't need to do this, so you can read the damn screen.
Yeah.
With stupid tilt forward. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But here's the thing. Like out of the three, like don't you think the Challenger is like the experience of a muscle car, this craziness, this like more power that you can even control? Isn't that what's a muscle car supposed to be? And like with the Mustang now, they're trying to tune it down and make it more of a sports car, sorts of, and like give it more control over the exhaust sound, over the handling and whatever. Don't you think the Challenger is still what a pure muscle car should be?
I agree, but the thing is, keep in mind. Okay, now we're in 2020. Okay, and engines have
That's you.
become. What?
Oh, you guys
I
heard
think
that?
I heard
muted,
that.
I muted the microphone so you wouldn't hear it.
Hear what? What happened?
He sneezed.
exactly.
Ah. Okay. Shit. Help. Okay. Anyways, so as I was saying, now it's 2020 and it's not okay. Muscle cars back then in the 70s or in the 80s. Okay, they were basically just the body of a regular car, put a big engine into it. But keep in mind, what was the horsepower? What were the horsepower figures back then? 200 horsepower, 250, 300. That's if you're screaming and upgraded, you're at 300 horsepower. And still back then, although you had so much power for the time, you could still control it because, you know, at the time, this is what it is. This is how it is. But now you come now, and I feel like the Charger is way too old, or the Challenger is way too old for what it is, and they slapped a massive engine into it, and they're like, just enjoy. That's not really how I picture a muscle car. Yeah, basically. Good
Plus,
luck.
it weighs as much as a house.
Yeah, exactly. It's too heavy, and also, okay, you still wanna own a muscle car, but at the same time, you wanna drive it everywhere. You cannot drive a Hellcat everywhere because of the fuel economy. It's insane, and you cannot drive it everywhere. Fuel economy is horrible. The car is too heavy. It's not comfortable. It's too stiff. I don't know. Just it's different than that. For example, if you go for the Mustang, okay. I don't know why they call it the pony car. I'm not sure. Okay, the Mustang, you still get the V8, the screaming V8. You still get the okay. I'm talking about the new model here. Okay, the newest one with the independent rear suspension. You still get the V8. You still get the muscle car feel, but at the same time, when you turn, you can actually hold it. Not like the previous model where you just went into crowds and yeah. So
that's what happens with the Hellcat. That Hellcat, those rear tires. I mean, ooh.
Exactly. I feel like the Hellcat is now taking the crown from the Mustang. Okay.
Taking the crowd from the Mustang.
The crowd. Yeah, and we agree. I think Zaran, you agree as well. Like the Mustang is the best car if you think about a car that you want to drive every day and all the time.
All round, yeah, definitely the best all rounder, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one. So we've covered sort of muscle cars, we've covered pickup trucks. What would you say is an SUV that you've enjoyed driving in the past year?
I know Ahmed's answer.
No, but first, before you answer, what do you think about this whole SUVing everything now? It's like now you have like SUVs, like small, tiny SUVs as big as a hatchback to like coupes. What the hell is happening, man?
It's playing to the masses, basically. Everyone wants to feel like they're in an SUV. Every time you ask someone driving a crossover, why do you drive a crossover? Like, because I feel like I'm high on the road and it's really good, you know, and it's safe. It's not safe. You look like an idiot. That's number one. Seriously, I'm sorry. I had to go there. But that's my opinion, man.
I feel like that hit a nerve with Ahmed. Yeah.
Sorry?
I feel like that hit a nerve with Ahmed.
No, because the thing is,
I wanted it to.
Like, for example, let's take Infinity, for example, okay? That, what's it called? The Q50?
The ugly one?
50.
Yeah, the QX.
Ugly one,
I
don't know, that kind of, I don't know how to explain it.
The really weird one, you know, the SUV.
There's the QX30, which is based on the A-Class, but is like a couple of millimeters higher than an A-Class.
Yeah, no, the QX50, I think.
Okay.
The one that every time you see it on the road, you go like, ugh. You know? That specific one. Why does that even exist? Why does that even exist? What's the point of that? Okay, it just looks like a regular hatchback that's airbag suspension's broken. It's always at the highest setting. That's literally what it looks like.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Glad I got that off my chest.
Feel lighter, feel better.
Again, No, but again, they're selling, right? That's the whole point.
They are selling, exactly.
That's the problem. Okay, I
That's
get.
why they keep making them.
I get why
Making
people
more
are-
and more of them. I don't know if you just heard there's an SUV Yaris now coming our way.
What?
I heard.
Yes,
SUV Yaris.
Yep.
yes. I'm telling you, they're SUVing everything now. Everything
Okay,
has to be an SUV.
The EV Mustang, which is a crossover, and that is by far the most
Oh my
disgusting
God.
vehicle,
That's a different
Oh my God.
discussion.
Americans
This
make.
is going to be a...
I could go on. That's
Including
that's
the
a
people.
whole. No, that's a whole topic, man. Like, why did they use the Mustang name? Just
I don't
call
know.
it anything else. The
Look, that's it.
Thunderbolt, I don't know, the anything that has to do with electricity. Why the Mustang name? It's just like
Okay.
some guy in marketing, like, you know what? Let's sell the Mustangs. They love Mustangs. It's our best-selling car. Let's make an EV Mustang.
Let me explain to you why this infuriates me. Okay. Now, for example, let's say, okay. I'm not saying that I have a good voice. I have a horrible voice. I can't sing at all. Okay. But let's say my voice is mediocre. Okay. And I go to sing, knowing it's my voice and me trying, and people go like, "Oh, no, that's okay. That's not bad." But just imagine this: if I actually go to people and tell them I trained Fairuz, I trained Kulthum, they all learned from me, and I taught Chris Brown how to sing. I taught all of these people how to sing, and then I sing like that. They were like, "Who's this idiot?" You know? You know what I mean? I mean, okay, why use Mustang, okay, for a crossover?
Yeah.
So
Electric
that's
crossover.
diluting the name and owning the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, an electric crossover, which is silent. It's silent.
I mean,
Like, what does it have to do with the Mustang to begin with?
I mean, it's bad
But,
enough.
like-
There's the Eco Boost, as Ahmed likes to call it, the Eco Beast. Okay, so
No. I say that as a joke. Okay.
yeah.
Is a joke.
When
Except,
you drive the Raptor, oh, I
Except-
feel amazing in this Eco Beast. Oh my God!
hold on. Except in the Raptor
Yeah.
and in that Lariat that we drove in Liwa. For some
that's
reason, that thing hauled ass. Okay.
I agree.
Ali-
It sounded horrible though, but hold on.
It sounded like complete trash. Okay.
The thing is, by the way, the only EcoBoost I'm willing to let go with Ford isn't even a Ford. It's the Lincoln Navigator.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
So-
that.
So basically, the
so-
Raptor end.
So let's go back to the topic. And would you choose the Lincoln Navigator over any other like 7-seater SUV?
Depends which ones. Obviously, I think of it of different classes. For example, with American cars, Lincoln Navigator wins any day. That's without a doubt, without a question.
Over
But-
the Escalade.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
even the new one.
I'm just pushing buttons, guys.
No, it's,
Oh, you can tell
like
that.
it's painful for me as well because I love the Escalade. The Navigator used to look horrible, okay, compared to the Escalade, and I was all Escalade because the 6.2, the 8, and then the 10 speed, and I used to love it and how it is. And then they brought the Lincoln. They basically, okay, how to keep this PG now? They basically said good, okay. They just did that to GMC to Cadillac. And they made this piece of art, which is the Navigator, and now with the Aviator, is stunning.
We were actually talking about this the other day. Lincoln, what they're doing now is
Yes.
like they are on the correct path. I think if they continue like this, Lincoln could be the next like Lexus coming out of America or something. Yeah.
FYI, the demand on the Navigator is insane. Okay, you know that. Okay, the price is stupidly high. Okay, and there is a waiting list to buy a Navigator from Altair, and at the same time, it's very rare for you to find a second-hand one. And if it comes to the market, it's usually holding price really well, which is weird for an American car. Okay, and it sells like this. It's insane.
Yeah.
They have Navigator.
With these cars, they're doing something that the Americans have never done before, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Hats off to Ford for that car. Ahmed, what
Oh
do you
yeah, definitely.
SUV. So favorite seven. If you were saying 7-seater SUV, it's obviously gonna go for the Navigator. All right, it's the creme de la creme when it comes to 7-seater SUVs. But
Who, what now?
the what?
De la creme.
What you saying after?
Creme de la
A
creme.
little bit of French. Sprinkle some French on. So, but I recently drove the. It's a long name. Hold on. Land Rover, Range Rover, Velar SV Autobiography Dynamic Edition.
Okay.
I mean, the chassis number is shorter than the name. It's insane.
Exactly. But that car is an absolute menace of a car. It is fast. It is loud. It's not too comfortable. It's a Velar, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
But it's mean. It's expensive, obviously. And I really, really enjoyed driving that car. And I remember when I went to Ali and he saw the car, he's like, okay. And then he drove it. He's like, okay. You know?
Yeah, I was shocked myself, man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool car.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one car that I really enjoyed a lot.
So
Okay.
it drives great. The Velar, and it's great as well. Well, the Velar.
The Velar
Sorry?
7.
My choice for SUV was very close to you, Ahmad. Like it was a Range Rover Sport Autobiography
Okay.
or Land Rover Range Rover Sport.
If we had to flip, I think there's some technical difficulties, so I'm going to take over. If we had
Go
to
ahead.
flip the question, what's an SUV you drove that you didn't really enjoy driving? What would it be? Something you drove that you feel, yeah, this could have been a lot better. Oh,
I think I can answer this. I'm pretty sure Ali will agree with me. The honky HS7.
Oh, yeah.
you guys have driven a hunchy.
Yeah.
We've driven 2 honkies.
Oh,
All right. So the HS7, it was we got in the car. We're like, why do we feel like we're in the 80s again? You know what I mean?
we felt the exact same thing. We drove the H7, the sedan.
Okay.
And I'm assuming the HS7 is pretty much the same car in an SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the HS5, we drove that and we're like, huh, this came out of China? Okay. You know, it was really, really impressive.
It was. I was really shocked with how good it is. It had proper not suspension speakers, proper infotainment. Okay. Although you get some, China stuff. Okay. with dancing and stuff here and there. Okay. That's normal. Okay. That's
Not
expected.
to forget
okay.
the trademark
Out of the price.
high-pitched Chinese lady that's speaking to
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you get that.
I think we're at the line of racism now, Ali. That's
No,
not.
I'm trying to hold it.
Just hold it. So, yeah. Guys, you should see the kind of comments I'm getting on my Chinese car reviews these days.
Oh man. Yeah,
the HS5 was very impressive.
Yeah, but
HS7, no.
Not so good. Exactly, not so good. Yes, I feel like that's the only SUV that we didn't like. I'm pretty sure there's something that I'm not happy with. Which one?
Ah, you remember, Ali? The MG HS.
We go back to China.
Okay. So the
Oh
MG
no, it's British. No, it's British.
which recently won Middle East Car of the Year somehow. But
What?
Yeah, I know.
The Trailblazer.
What?
But the Trailblazer didn't.
Exactly.
Ironically. Ironically.
The Blazer. It's just the Blazer.
Trail Shirad يعني.
Trailblazer is a different car, goddamn.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's the one we had in Jordan, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the thing is with the MG. We had the MGHS, so which one was it? Which is basically the same exact car with a different name. It was the same thing. Okay, I drove it for a week. Huh?
The MG ZS.
I think so. I think so. I drove that, okay, and ironically, weird enough, okay, I like the car a little, okay. The passenger seat couldn't get, like, there's no up and down in both the seats, and Ahmad was basically just sitting like that on the passenger side, okay. Okay, but there was something weird that I felt with the car. When I'm at half throttle, the car flies, okay, and it reaches stupid speeds that I don't want to mention now so I don't get mad, okay. It reaches high speeds, okay, but then if you go full throttle, it's locked. If you're at half throttle, it continues.
It's funny you mentioned like something weird you guys discovered while driving an MG, because we've driven I think 2 or 3 MGs so far, and all of them have like the same issue in them. It's to do with, it's very related to what you're saying. It's to do with the throttle and the turbos.
Yes. Yeah.
The lag.
Oh,
The
traffic.
Oh, the lag. Yeah, the lag is off. I think that car is like when you want to explain lag to someone, you bring that car and explain turbo lag to somebody. It's like, this is turbo lag. This is it.
It's not only turbo lag, it's everything lag. It's like, hello lag, you know, it's everything. Thing is, with that car, being stuck in traffic, I was driving the MG6, and that was by far the worst one between them. I was in traffic, okay? Thing is, I pressed the brake because it's a dual clutch. They decided to go for a dual clutch transmission. Okay, you know how once you press the brakes, it lets go, it opens, and then once you let go of the brake, it connects again. For some reason, you let go of the brake, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, and then it goes. Okay,
suddenly.
And then it flies. Okay, and if you give the throttle and you let go of the throttle stays on. Okay, and you have to brake. So you're giving the throttle and the brake at the same time. You're fighting the car.
Yeah.
Okay. I got so scared. I parked the car. I never drove it again. So
like to move on from MGs, I gotta say, man, with the price you're getting these cars for, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like when you compare the price you're paying for these cars, especially on the inside, it's like, and you compare it to a Japanese car or a Korean, it's like ridiculous the amount of stuff they're throwing inside the car, right?
100%.
I agree. Speaking with MGs, I was actually really impressed with them, like the full option ones and the ones which they're actually good. They have enough options. They're somewhat comfortable. I don't know about reliability yet. Okay, I don't know anyone who owns one yet.
No one knows.
No one knows exactly. But I feel like it doesn't feel as bad as people may portray or think.
Yes. Yeah.
And there are these small problems, but these will eventually get fixed. Okay, and it's normal because basically, as much as you say that MG is British and it's old, okay, it's still technically a new company, but with that name.
Yeah.
True.
So. Yeah,
I think we can all agree that on the whole, Chinese cars have significantly improved. Not just MG, I mean, just on the whole. I mean, we've driven MGs, we've driven, what is that, Dorsen,
Havals.
We've driven Havals, Cherries.
I haven't.
They are on the same levels.
Okay. It's the same level of, like, you think of the price and you think, wow, this is like, this is nice. And at the same time, you start driving and you find these like issues here and there, and again, they're new companies, like they're still just starting with this whole thing. So
exactly, so you don't blame them for what they give, and you look at the price and you tend to let it go. Let it go. It's like, okay, it's expected. But then you look at the bright side, look at these options, look at that, look at this. I mean, some of them have panoramic sunroof.
True.
The MG6 was panoramic sunroof in a Chinese, in a 60,000 dirham car. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I was
They
shocked
spent
myself.
the whole budget on the sunroof.
Not the car.
not the engine, not the dual clutch.
Sunroof.
Okay. Go ahead, Anand.
Go ahead, Zaran. Go ahead.
Fine. So I think the last topic before we end this call would be, what is a sports car that you've enjoyed driving in the past year? We've covered muscle cars, so let's stick more to sports cars. It could be anything from like
supercars
or
supercars. We haven't really stepped into that yet. Okay.
Yeah, we don't really. We're not supercar friendly.
because they don't
Supercar
fit.
fatty, supercar, it doesn't work much.
All right, let's turn it down a notch. Let's go sports cars.
RS5.
Anas liked that one, the RS5.
I loved it. I loved it.
RS5.
Well,
I
good choice.
absolutely loved that thing. I loved it. Just Audis in general, the RSs, they are insane. They are insane.
I think
and
obviously the
going
the RS6, right?
Ali as well, like going back to the all-rounder as well, like that car is such a, like, you can just use it as a luxury coupe, like soft driving, no sound, nothing, and with a press of a button it goes into like beast mode.
Exactly, it goes into a complete animal. And sometimes if you're late with shifting, okay, and there is that rev limiter, okay, and the explosions that happen in the back, and then you upshift and it slaps you in the back and it flies. That thing is an experience on its own. You don't even have to speed, okay?
Yeah.
Ahmed, you saw how entertained I was at 80, okay? And
it's just like exactly.
just upshifting, downshifting. I was so entertained that I wasn't even speeding. I was just noisy, okay?
And at the end of the day, you're just in an Audi, so it's a nice place to be in, right?
Exactly. It's comfortable. AC is good. Perforated steering wheel is, I love it. Okay. I don't know. I just loved it. Ahmed.
I agree with you, man. The Audi RS5 is, I have a soft spot for Audi RS cars in general. Give me an Audi RS6 Avant and I will love you forever. But yeah, so Audi RS in general, I'm a really big fan of. But this, I'm gonna go off the script a little bit. And when it comes to sports car, and yes, I will categorize this car as a sports car, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio.
Oh, definitely can be.
That thing was a monster. Because Ali kept digging it up. He kept talking about it. But the day I picked it up from the guys at FCA, and I drove it, I was like, okay, now I get what he means. You know what I mean? It was something completely different, and it's a lot of fun. It is stupid fun.
I drove it 3 years ago, okay? And then I wouldn't stop talking about it. And Ahmed gets annoyed every time I tell that story of me driving that car. And I know Ahmed doesn't want me to tell the story because it's annoying. Okay, because he heard it.
Because the thing is, we'll be driving down the road to Ras Al Khaimah, for example, just me and Ali, okay, in a pickup. And then he will see a Stelvio Quadrifoglio. And then he'll be like, oh, that's the Quadrifoglio. I drove that in Italy 2 years ago. You told me the story 5 times. Shut up, it's 5 a.m. We're going to the mountains. Okay?
I went to the local proving grounds and I drove the Stelvio and the Giulia Quadrifoglio on the track, and they are
brilliant.
We've not driven the Quadrifoglio range. We just got our hands on a Giulia Super, which is like the entry-level Giulia, and we were like, wow, this car is great. That steering itself, like, just end the conversation there, right? The steering alone.
I know that you guys, like, I'm sure, like, watching a lot of like reviewers and other people, especially in Britain and Europe, like every time they speak about alphas, it's like, oh, alphas and like the passion and whatever. You never understand what they mean until you actually drive an alpha.
Exactly, I agree.
It's like nothing else. There's nothing else that matches Alfa Romeos in the way they like, I don't know, they feel driving. It's a feeling. It's like more than numbers and whatever. It's a feeling of driving the car.
Yes, I agree. Now you think about it, okay, you can get so many cars, so many SUVs with the same price range of the Alpha, okay, with more options and more everything. And I said this in the review when I reviewed it, okay. If you're buying an Alpha, okay, screw the reviews, screw the options, screw everything. You don't want anything. You don't want all of that. You're just driving the car because I feel like Alpha put the options in the car just to please people to actually buy it, because nowadays people don't buy cars because of how they love them unless they're a purist car person. with how they drive. Now they just buy it because I can fit my kids in the back. I can go to the grocery. I can, it can help me not die a few times a second, okay, because of the options that keep yelling and screaming and driving itself for me. That's what people look for now, okay? But us as car people, we understand that car, but the thing is, there's not enough of us who are rich enough
for companies, for companies to produce cars for us.
Exactly. So they have to add these stuff, okay, add the stuff just to please other people to buy them.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were forced into it, and honestly, I would get a Stelvio without any options gladly. Only AC. I need AC.
Yeah. Speaking of Alfa Romeos, have you seen that Giulia GTA?
Yeah.
Giulia GTA. What is it? What?
Ali,
Ali, you should look it up. You should look it up after we're done, and just like, man, you're gonna go insane for that.
Okay. I'm actually looking at. Oh my God. Okay. So,
talked about.
Oh yeah. Now, okay. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this. Okay, I like it. This is stunning. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Yes, I'm a happy man now. Anyways.
So let's like end this with like, I want to end the whole video with looking into the future. And the future of cars is like EVs and electric. I want to get your opinion, guys, about that. And we'll end the video on that, because this is the biggest button I'm gonna push. I can see Ali I can see Ali doing this right now.
Okay.
Look at Ahmad's face.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
let's start with Ahmad, because his face is like the story.
All right, EVs, man.
Well, it's not me, man. It's not me. It's the world. It's doing this with us. It's not us.
Fair enough. But no, like, to be realistic about it, EVs are inevitable. Okay, it is gonna happen whether we like it or not. However, there will be this very, very few of us that still drive around in like loud V8s that people are gonna judge like they're the gypsies of nowadays.
I'm pretty sure tanks are gonna be like 1,500 per tank. Okay.
Yeah.
Future. Okay. And we will gladly pay our whole salaries into that.
But yeah, EVs are inevitable. Here in the UAE, it's gonna take a bit longer, in my opinion, for them to become like very, very mainstream for your average person. Because in the UAE, we drive a lot of highways. Okay, there's a lot of highway driving in the UAE, and EVs on the highway, like EVs are much better for your normal commute in the city.
Yeah,
you know, to and from work, and you don't live too far away from
urban driving, basically.
Exactly,
that's what they're good for.
But yeah, I'm not too excited about EVs. However,
not even with the numbers, like with the 0-100 numbers and the.
That's a different story.
The thing is, so like, for example, I don't know what the hell is wrong with Ford. So I love Ford, but I hate them. You know, Ford is like that. You know, okay, I was gonna use a word that I shouldn't have. Okay, the mentally challenged child that you have, you love it so much because it's so creative, but at the same time, it's so stupid. You want to hit it in the back of the head and make it bounce on the window.
We might have to cut this whole section out.
Okay, this bad. Khalas.
I had to.
Okay, make it. Okay, continue.
Where was I? Yeah. So they use the.
I'd rather move to Ali now and see what he thinks about EV.
Okay, so Mustang.
How dare you, Ahmed?
Ford, I don't know what's wrong with them, but anyway, they use the Mustang Cobra Jet name now in this dragster that they created.
Okay.
And the dragster is electric.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's like, why?
Yeah, well,
Like,
it's kind of like what Porsche was doing with the Taycan, right? Calling it the
No,
Turbo.
Exactly. But Cobra Jet, when you say Cobra Jet, you hear the name Cobra Jet, you know? And then you go home from the racetrack and your ears are still ringing. That's what Cobra Jet means.
Exactly.
And now it's just silence. Okay, 1,400 horsepower and 1,000 something newton meters of torque from zero. I get it. Very, very impressive numbers. Don't call it a Cobra Jet, because that's not what a Cobra Jet is.
What about Ford calling that Edge the ST?
Sorry?
What about Ford calling that Edge the ST?
It's also wrong, because it's not an ST. It's called the Edge Special, you know?
Yes.
It's special.
Special. My mom had me tested special.
Seems like Ford.
Participation.
Seems like Ford just has a problem with names, man. It's like all over the place.
Yes, I agree.
It's like they can't come up with new names. It's like, yeah, let's use that for this.
The thing is, you mentioned the Taycan. The Taycan is a different story. Like, okay, the thing is, I'm against electric cars, but it's happening. I have to accept it from now, or else I'm gonna jump off a building. Okay, and I don't want to jump off a building. Okay, so I'm gonna have to accept it. And the only car that actually convinced me to even consider the electric cars was the Tesla. I was like, okay, there's potential here. Although it's okay, it's comfortable. It has, you know, all these gadgets and does the dancy thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and it flies. It's fast. Now think of that. Okay, Tesla. This is a guy who's just started making cars. Although he's an absolute genius. Okay, but he just started making the cars. Okay, he's still new. Although they're really good cars, but still, imagine what Porsche is gonna do to a car. Okay, now they've been perfecting their cars, like not every single one, 996. Most of their 911s are perfect. Okay, most of their 911s are perfect to me. And imagine the GT2, the GT3, the Carrera GT. You hear the history of these cars and how Porsche is so, let's say insane, and they're so perfect with everything. Imagine what they'll do with electric cars. Now, this is why I'm very excited about the Taycan. I can't wait till I drive one. I know that one was here with WSF Creative, and I was jumping up and down. I really wanted to go and see the car, but I couldn't. There is a future to electric cars. Okay, we're gonna have to accept them. They will get better. We will accept them, but the thing is, I don't accept them. I don't like them now, but it's gonna happen eventually, you know.
But I mean, the thing is, the main thing for me particularly is fine, okay, electric cars, that's cool, but leave the names of these big cars, like for
legends, man. Leave the name of like legendary cars. Exactly.
For example, there's a Taycan Turbo. Don't call it a Taycan Turbo.
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Go home, drink some milk. Don't call it a Taycan Turbo.
It doesn't have a turbo. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
A turbo is a piece of mechanical engineering. It's not there. It's not there. Technically, it's not there.
Okay, technically, the 911, even the regular Carrera has a turbo.
What do you mean?
It's not NA. The 911, I think it has a turbo, right?
Yeah, but they don't. I mean, when they call a car a turbo, it's one thing that you're not called the turbo and you have a turbo, but you have the turbo badge and there's no turbo. Right?
Ali, hold on. It's the equivalent of putting an M badge on a 318.
No. That's equivalent to no. That's more like putting an M badge on a Yaris.
A TRD badge on the Yaris.
TRD badge on an Audi. Makes sense.
On an SUV Yaris, which is coming soon.
Oh my God, yes, I forgot about that. The thing is, I feel like it's going to be just a rename of a RAV4 or
I
something.
think it's going to be much smaller than a RAV4. Maybe something to go like in the eco-sport kind of segment.
I think they're trying to go against the Nissan Juke. Maybe.
No. Juke is with the RAV4 size. Juke and the RAV4 is the same, I think. Right?
No,
it's smaller.
No? Smaller, a little bit smaller.
Segment-wise.
You know, I think they're going to get the Toyota Rush. They're going to cut off the back. Call it a Yaris.
No, the thing is,
that's my issue with SUVs. They have so many of them now that you خلاص misplace the sizes, man. You have like 5 different SUVs in the same segment from the same company. It's like, what is this?
The thing is, before in the 90s, for example, you had the Yukon XL, okay, and just nothing else. Okay, it's just big or bigger, okay?
Bigger.
But now there's like sections and sizes to everything. You're just confused.
Yeah.
True. And the naming doesn't help, especially if you're like Infiniti or Mercedes and you have a GLA, B, GL, whatever, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah.
Confusing. It is confusing. It's very interesting. No, with Infinity, I just gave up. I just gave up. It's an Infinity. It's okay. Yeah, I don't want to offend people here.
And on that, I think we reached the end of the video, guys. It was amazing to have you on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for being
Thank
a
you
part
so
of it.
much. And I'm looking forward to doing this again if you're willing.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll pick up
Thank you, Ali. Thank you,
topic
Ahmed.
next time.
Thanks, guys.
It's like everything is controversial with these guys.
Why is blue? Okay.
All righty. See you guys. Thank you.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much,
Bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.